सह्याद्री वाहिनी, प्रत्येक घरासाठी, घरातल्या प्रत्येकासाठी.
Hello everyone, I'm Pradnya Kale from Ferguson College English Department. In our last lecture, we had started 1.2 on saying please by A.G. Gardner. In that lesson, he emphasizes on importance of being polite and courteous. He also argues that discourtesy is not a legal offense, but you cannot neglect the damages that you make by being discourteous. Remaining part of the lesson we shall start now. So in the first paragraph, we see that this passenger enters this lift and he refuses to say please. He just says top. So the lift man thinks that this person has insulted me. त्याला असं वाटतं की त्यांनी माझा इन्सल्ट केलाय. What he does is that he hurls him out. तो त्याला लिफ्टच्या बाहेर असा हर्ल करतो, फेकून देतो. So here the author says that discourtesy is not a legal offense. Like if you are very rude, if you are not polite, nobody will put you behind bars. ते एक गुन्हा नाहीये. जर तुम्ही पोलाइट नसाल किंवा तुमचं बिहेवियर चांगलं नसेल तर ते एक लीगल ऑफेन्स नाहीये. So if you don't like somebody's behavior, it does not give you any right to physically harm that person. If someone physically harms you, or if somebody's intention is that that person wants to physically hurt you, or if he has done that time you can retaliate. The law will consider that yes, you are innocent, because what has happened here, कोणी चोर असेल किंवा कोणी तुम्हाला फिजिकली हार्म केलं असेल तिथे तुम्ही रिटॅलिएट करू शकता. But no legal system could attempt to legislate against bad manners or could sanction the use of violence against something which it does not itself recognize as a legally punishable offense. So same गोष्ट, जर तुम्ही रूड असाल, तुमचं बिहेवियर चांगलं नसेल तर त्याच्याकरता कुठलाही कायदा नाहीये. So it is considered that it is not a offense. And our sympathy with the lift man, we must admit that law is reasonable. And the law is very reasonable, because what will happen if we have the liberty to hurt someone? If you think that this person was very rude, he was not well behaved, he did not strike a proper tone with you, in that case, you don't have the liberty to hit that person or physically assault that person. If you had that liberty, what will happen? Every second day you will hit someone or the other. त्याच्यामुळे सगळीकडे केऑस होईल. लॉ तुम्हाला कंपेल नाही करू शकत प्लीज किंवा थँक्यू म्हणायला. लॉ कॅनॉट कंपेल यू टू से प्लीज और थँक्यू, राईट? अँड इफ समबडी हॅज हर्ट यू, it does not consider it as a case for compensation. That person does not owe you any compensation. And then the author says that how bad manners are infectious, how we infect the world with our ill humors, and how the chain continues. Here he gives one example from The Rivals, where how Sir Anthony Absolute bullies Captain Absolute, and then he goes out and bullies his man Fag, and he comes out and he just kicks his page boy. So he's telling that how our bad manners are infectious. So please and thank you are the small change with which we pay ourselves, we pay our ways as social beings. They are the little courtesies by which we keep the machine of life oiled and running sweetly. By saying these words, we just keep this machine of life oiled and running sweetly. We keep the atmosphere very pleasant. And our communication, the base of our communication should be easy give and take. It should be a friendly cooperation. It is not like, oh, you are superior to someone, somebody is inferior to you, and you are just dictating and you are just ordering them. If your communication is of that sort, nobody would like to be around you. लाईक फॉर एक्झाम्पल, तुमचा कोणी कुक असेल किंवा तुमचा ड्रायव्हर असेल, त्याला तुम्ही सारखं ऑर्डर केलं, डिमांड केलं, ही विल डू द जॉब, बट ही विल डू इट आउट ऑफ रिसेंटमेंट. ही विल नॉट डू इट विलिंगली. ही विल नॉट डू इट हॅपीली. सो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन यू हाऊ यू ट्रीट all these people. And then he gives one example of bus conductor. Like one day what happens, like he just boards on a bus and he realizes that he does not have any money. and that conductor allows him to be on the bus. He doesn't say that, okay, you have to get out, you have to get down from the bus. तो त्याला अलाव करतो. तो म्हणतो की ठीक आहे, तुझ्याकडे जरी पैसे नसतील तरी ठीक आहे, आपण जेव्हा परत कधी भेटू त्यावेळेस तू मला ते पैसे देऊ शकतो. But that fact did not lessen the glow of pleasure which so good natured an action had given me. So I was so happy. So that glow of pleasure just could not leave me, because I felt so happy by that gesture. Because what happens, like, we don't encounter such people. We don't see that, you have boarded on a bus and the conductor is saying that it is fine. If you don't have money, you give it to me later. हे खूप अनयुज्युअल आहे आणि खूप रेअर आहे. असं आपल्याला कधीच कोणी भेटत नाही की ते कंडक्टर म्हणतात की ठीक आहे, तुझ्याकडे जरी पैसे नसले तरी चालेल, तू परत कधीतरी दे. I know these are heavy boots. And then what happens? One day he was just reading on the top of a bus. I looked up with some anger and more agony and saw my friend of the cheerful countenance. Here what happens? That somebody just tramples on his feet. Trampled on म्हणजे crushed under feet. मग तो व्यक्ती म्हणतो, सॉरी सर, I know these are very heavy boots. Got them because my own feet get trod on so much. So first of all, immediately he says that I'm very sorry. I know that these boots are very heavy. I got these boots because my feet have been trampled on so many times and I got hurt. So that is why I have got these heavy boots. मी हे heavy boots का आणले? कारण बऱ्याच वेळा असं झालं की लोक माझ्या पायावरती पाय देऊन गेले, त्याच्यामुळे मी हे हेवी बूट्स आणले. And now I'm treading on other people's. Hope I didn't hurt you, sir. So see the way he reacts. See, immediately he says sorry, he apologizes him, and he also gives him the reason that why he has got that heavy boots. He had hurt me, but he was so nice about it that I assured he hadn't. So here what happens, the author was actually very hurt because those were very heavy boots. ते बूट्स इतके हेवी होते की त्याला खरंच लागलेलं असतं. पण तो चिडतो का इथे? नो. ही सेज दॅट आय वॉज हर्ड बट ही वॉज सो नाईस अबाउट इट. म्हणजे द वे ही स्पोक टू हिम, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ही अपॉलोजाइज्ड हिम अँड देन ही गेव हिम द एक्सप्लेनेशन की मी इतके हेवी बूट्स का आणले. सो ही वॉज सो नाईस अबाउट इट. आय मीन आय लाइक्ड हिज पर्सनॅलिटी, द वे ही behaved. He was so well behaved and very polite that I assured him that he hadn't. So he said that he was so good about it that I assured him that he had not hurt me. After this, I began to observe him wherever I boarded his bus and found a curious pleasure in the constant good nature of his bearing. So here he says that after that, whenever I met him, I just found that, this person is very nice, this person is very good, and he had that constant good nature of his bearing. म्हणजे तो सतत हॅपी असतो, त्याचं काउंटेनन्स एकदम चेअरफुल असतो. सो दिस मेड मी व्हेरी क्युरियस की एखाद्या व्यक्ती इतका चांगला कसा असू शकतो ऑल द टाइम. ही सीम्स टू हॅव अन इनएक्झॉस्टिबल फंड ऑफ पेशन्स अँड अ गिफ्ट फॉर मेकिंग हिज पॅसेंजर्स कम्फर्टेबल. सो what are his qualities? First of all, he has got infinite fund of patience, means he has lots and lots of patience, and he has this unique gift. त्याच्याकडे एक युनिक गिफ्ट आहे. कुठलं? For making his passengers comfortable. He himself was very nice, he was very good, and he made people around him very comfortable. So these were his good qualities. I noticed that if it was raining, he would run up the stairs to give someone the tip that there was room inside. So see, earlier days there was this double decker bus. अशा वेळेस जर काय व्हायचं की ज्यावेळेस पाऊस पडायचा तो वरती जायचा आणि सांगायचं की खाली जागा आहे, तुम्ही खाली येऊ शकता. So he would run up the stairs and he would tell people that there is room inside, you can come down. With old people he was as considerate as a son, and with children as solicitous. Solicitous म्हणजे caring and concerned. As a father. So with old people, he was very considerate, he was very nice and caring. And with children also, he was very concerned and caring as a father. He had evidently a peculiarly warm place in his heart for young people and always indulged in some merry jest with them. So he made sure that the atmosphere is very nice, and he made sure that everyone is in a good mood. So he entertained them and kept them happy. If he had a blind man on board, it was not enough to set him down safely on the pavement. He would call to Bill in front to wait while he took him across the road or round the corner, or otherwise safely on his way. Now, suppose if they had a blind man on board, of course he would help him. But just to get him down safely on pavement, it was not enough. एखादा ब्लाइंड व्यक्ती असेल तर त्याला फक्त बसच्या खाली उतरून रोडपर्यंत पोहोचवणे हे त्याच्यासाठी सफिशियंट नव्हतं. तो परत काय करायचा? The author says that he would call Bill in front to wait while he took him across the road or round the corner or otherwise safely on his way. So he also made sure that whether he wanted to cross the road or whether he want to go to some other place, he made sure that that person has reached that place. So just getting him down was not sufficient for him. In short, I found that he irradiated, means spread. He irradiated such an atmosphere of good temper and kindliness that a journey with him was a lesson in natural courtesy and good manners. So if such people are around you, what happens? It is like you are learning lessons like how to be courteous, how to have good manners, how to be polite. So he said that I learned a lot from him, and I will try to inculcate these qualities in me. What struck me particularly was the ease with which he got through his work. If bad manners are infectious, so are good manners. If we encounter incivility, most of us are apt to become uncivil. So here he says that if someone is rude or if someone is not nice with you, you will also be like that. It is quite natural. If we encounter incivility, it is probable that we will also be incivil. Most of us are apt to become uncivil. But it is an unusually uncouth means impolite person who can be disagreeable with sunny people. तर एखादा इम्पोलाइट व्यक्तीच असू शकतो जो की एका हॅपी किंवा एका सनी पीपल बरोबर डिसअग्री करेल. इट इज विथ मॅनर्स ॲज विथ वेदर. Nothing clears up my spirits like a fine day, said Keats, and a cheerful person descends on even the gloomiest of us with something of the benediction of a fine day. So Keats says that nothing clears up my spirits like a fine day. Means if it is a fine day, it will just uplift my spirit. I will be very happy and my spirit will be uplifted. In the same way, what will happen if we are very gloomy म्हणजे काय? खूप sad. If we are very gloomy, if we are very sad, and if we happen to meet a cheerful person, एखादा happy व्यक्ती, एखादा cheerful व्यक्तीशी आपण भेटलो, so that would be like something of the benediction of a fine day. Means it would be like a blessing. Benediction म्हणजे blessing. So if we meet a cheerful person, a happy person, it would be like a blessing for us. We will be able to get rid of that sadness if we encounter happy and cheerful people. And so it was always fine weather on the polite conductor's bus. And his own civility, his conciliatory address and good-humored bearing infected his passengers. So here he says that it was always fine weather on polite conductor's bus. Means what? He was always happy, he was always cheerful, and he kept the atmosphere very pleasant. And that is why it was like a fine weather all the time on the polite conductor's bus. His own civility, his conciliatory address, that is trying to win friendly feelings, and good-humored bearing infected his passengers. Like how bad manners are infectious, similarly, good manners are also infectious. If you happen to be around such people, you will also catch that temper. You will also be like them and you will also feel happy. In lightening their spirits, he lightened his own task. His gaiety was not a wasteful luxury, but a sound investment. So here, what he does is that he just uplifts the spirit of people by making them happy. His gaiety, that is, he's always happy, his friendly nature and all those things. Like gaiety means happiness. So his gaiety was not a wasteful luxury but a sound investment. So don't think that he is just wasting that good nature on people. No. Consider that it is a sound investment. I have missed him from my bus route of late, but I hope that only means that he has carried his sunshine onto another road. So he says that lately I haven't seen him, but I just hope that he has carried that sunshine to another road. म्हणजे तो दुसऱ्या व्यक्तींशी भेटून ती जे नेचर असेल तिथे ते स्प्रेड केलं असेल त्यांनी. It cannot be too widely diffused. Diffused म्हणजे spread in a rather drab world. So you cannot widely diffuse. It cannot be widely diffused in a rather drab म्हणजे dull world. सगळीकडे ते डिफ्यूज करणे शक्य नाहीये इतक्या डल आणि बोरिंग वर्ल्डमध्ये. अँड आय मेक नो अपॉलॉजीज फॉर रायटिंग अ पेनिगिरिक ऑन अन अननोन बस कंडक्टर. पेनिगिरिक इज अ स्पीच or piece of writing to praise someone highly. If Wordsworth could gather lessons of wisdom from the poor leech gatherer on the lonely moor, I see no reason why lesser people should not take lessons in conduct from one who shows how a very modest calling may be dignified by good temper and kindly feeling. So he says that if Wordsworth can preach leech gatherers, if Wordsworth praises them, see, the poor leech gatherer, the subject of Wordsworth poem Resolution and Independence. So in that poem, Resolution and Independence, Wordsworth praises leech gatherers. Leech is a blood-sucking insect. So these people have to gather these insects and it is a very difficult task. तर त्या पोएममध्ये वर्ड्सवर्थ त्यांना प्रेज करतो आहे. लाईक देअर रेझोल्युशन इज सो स्ट्रॉंग that they make sure that at any cost they will complete their task. So he says that if Wordsworth can praise these leech gatherers, I can also write a panegyric on the conductor because I have liked his behavior. We must get those civilities back if we are to make life kindly and tolerable for each other. So it is a matter of general agreement that the war has had a chilling effect on those little everyday civilities. वर्ल्ड वॉरच्या नंतर काय होतं की इट हॅड अ चिलिंग इफेक्ट. चिलिंग इफेक्ट म्हणजे काय की समथिंग विच डिस्करेजेस यू. वर्ल्ड वॉर नंतर काय झालं, इट हॅड अ चिलिंग इफेक्ट ऑन अपॉन those little everyday civilities of behavior that sweeten the general air. So earlier people were very good, very polite and all. But after World War, what had happened? That thing had discouraged them to be polite and well behaved and all these things. And these civilities of behavior that used to sweeten the general air, so they just stopped being so. Now, if we want to get these civilities back, what should we do? It is our duty to bring those civilities back. We cannot get them back by invoking the law. The policeman is a necessary symbol and the law is a necessary institution for a society that is still somewhat lower than the angels. But the law can only protect us against material attack. Nor will the liftman's way of meeting moral upfront by physical violence help us to restore these civilities. Now, if we want to restore these civilities, the civilities आपल्याला परत पाहिजे असतील, it is not the duty of policemen. It is not we cannot say that laws should be made. No, it is our responsibility. It is our responsibility to make sure that we get those civilities back. Lower than angels म्हणजे thou has made him a little lower than angels. Here it means less than perfect. Law will work, but it will protect you if someone physically hits you or physically assaults you, or if some crime happens. Law is for that thing. For bringing those civilities back, it is your duty. Nor will the liftman's way of meeting moral affront by physical violence help us to restore the civilities. आता हे civilities आपण परत कशा आणणार आहेत? लिफ्टमॅन जो करतो तसं केलं तर चालेल का? The way he dealt with that person, passenger, he thought that he insulted me by not saying please, and he just hurled him out of the lift. In that way, can we bring the civilities back? No, that is not the way. I suggest to him that he would have had a more subtle and effective revenge if he had treated the gentleman who would not say please with elaborate politeness. So instead of, physically hurting that person, if he would have dealt with that situation differently, had he been polite, he would have given a befitting reply to that person. You can also deal with such situations by being polite also. And in that way, you can take your revenge also. He would have had the victory not only over the boor, boor means rude and insensitive person, but over himself. And that is the victory that counts. So, in this way, what will happen? First of all, he will take his revenge. And second thing is that he will not have to drop down his level to take the revenge. So, that is like in this way, he will win over himself. The polite man may lose the material advantage, but he will always has the spiritual victory because he has not dropped his level. त्याच्यामुळे काय होईल? He will come across as a very good human being, someone who is very polite. So that will be his victory. I commend to the lift man a story of Chesterfield. Chesterfield, Lord Chesterfield, English statesman, author and patron of letters. तर इथे एक इन्सिडन्स दाखवतात, सांगतोय ऑथर चेस्टरफिल्डच्या बरोबर काय झालं होतं ते. In his time, the London streets were without the pavements of today, and the man who took the wall had the driest footing. I never give the wall to a scoundrel, said a man. So there was some man, and he said that I never give the wall to a scoundrel. So he abused him. A stranger from a road simply abused him, said a man who met Chesterfield one day in the street. I always do, said Chesterfield, stepping with a bow into the road. So see here what has happened. A random person from street has abused you. He said scoundrel to you. Now naturally you will also be tempted to use the same word. But how does Chesterfield reply? That's a reply kasa asto? Did he use that word scoundrel? No. What does he say? I always do. Stepping with a bow into the road. So this tells you that you don't have to drop down to the level of your perceived offender. If you want to take revenge or if you want to give that person a befitting reply, you can do that by being polite. तुम्ही polite होऊन पण एखाद्या व्यक्तीला befitting reply देऊ शकता. You don't have to drop down to their level. I hope that the liftman will agree that his revenge was much more sweet than if he had flung the fellow into the mud. So the author says that liftman will also agree that the method of Chesterfield of dealing with such people is much more effective. त्यांनी जर असं बोलण्याच्या ऐवजी त्याला फक्त असं ढकलून दिलं असतं तर ते खूप जास्त इफेक्टिव्ह नसतं झालं. And liftman will also agree that the method of Chesterfield is very right. It is very correct. So this is how the lesson ends. And it tells you that you have to be polite, you have to be well behaved, you should have manners and etiquettes. Now let us go through few questions. Select the most appropriate sentences which suggest the theme of the essay. The essay tells us about courtesy, civility, morality, responsibility, and control. The essay explores the difficulties that can be incurred by an individual when dealing with the public. One can keep one's peace of mind without having to lower themselves to the level of perceived offender. People with low self-esteem are generally difficult to work with, and they look down upon others to get a feeling of superiority. So you have to select two sentences which suggest the theme of the lesson. And next is find the reasons for the liftman's uncivilized behavior. Why did he behave in that way? Why did he hurl that passenger out of the lift? Next is distinguish between a legal offense and a moral offense on the basis of the given text. Legal offense and moral offense. Now, what is legal offense? Like robbery. If you steal something, if you physically hurt something, that is a legal offense. If you break the law, of course, you will be put behind the bars. And what is moral offense? Rude behavior, you are very impolite, you come across as a very rude and not well behaved person. So that is a moral offense. So if you offend someone, if you don't behave properly, nobody will put you behind bars because of that behavior. So that is moral offense. So I hope that you have understood this lesson. So at the end of the lesson, the point that he's trying to make here is, if you think that somebody has offended you, you don't have to drop down to the level of your perceived offender. If you want to give it back, you can do it in a polite manner also. So overall in this lesson, he has emphasized that you should be polite, you should be well behaved, you should have manners and etiquettes. And if we have all these qualities, we would be able to live in a peaceful and harmonious society. Thank you.